Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is FAQ number 7, and I hope this t-shirt answers all your questions. Hello guys, so welcome back once again to my FAQ session episodes, and this is FAQ number 7. Like I said before, the feedback has been great so far. I'm loving you guys are engaging and posting lots of questions, not just on YouTube but also on Reddit and Facebook, and it's really cool for me to have this opportunity to answer and do my best. So let's go straight into the questions. From GBG Wallen, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Great series. Thank you, Juca. Thanks, man. What is your strategy for reusing patches with different guitars? Ideally, I'd like to use the same set of patches all the time, but at the push of a knob, have an EQ adjustment for the guitar I'm using. Do you have any tips how best to do this? I know I could just create specific versions of the patches for each guitar, but it's so much work to keep them all updated if I make a change. Now with different guitars, you might want to check the assignment tabs on your Boss Katana or GT1000, depending what you're using. I'm now thinking about the Boss Katana MK2, where you can actually, in the assignment tabs, since you can control so many different things, you also can control the EQ. So you could have one button or more than one button to change the EQ depending on the different guitars you have. So there's a solution. It's not the easiest way or the easiest one. I would prefer to put them in different foot switches because it's more convenient. I hope I answer your question. Let's go for the next one. RGTK, hi Juca, is it possible to control Neural DSP plugins via Boss GT1000 using MIDI connected to the interface? Scarlett 818i8, cheers. I don't believe so. For those specific reasons, I would recommend you to get a separate pedal board. Behringer, I don't know how to spell it, Behringer probably, makes those pedal boards. They're super affordable, and you can control all the instances of the neural plugins instead of going to the Boss GT1000, because probably they have different parameters and stuff like that. And I think I'm correct when I say that I think it's not compatible. You have to try, but I wouldn't advise you to do that. Neural DSP, it's a different plugin. It's a different thing than the Boss GT, right? So for those kind of applications, it's better to have a dedicated MIDI controller, like a foot switch, right? Like Behringer, I've said before, which are affordable, and you can control everything and assign everything from the plugin. So it's much more convenient and it's affordable. So check that out. From GBids1, have you attempted the patch for EVH 90's tone balance error? I have a pack in my site I think I have a pack for EVH tones. If I don't have, I have them separately in bundles. Of course, you can create your own bundle. I'm gonna put something here on the screen where you guys can see that, because I have yet to arrange a situation where I have every patch discriminated so you guys can add them to the basket instead of emailing me and telling me what patches do you have for your own custom bundle. But for now, that's the way it works. But I don't believe I have one for the 90's tone balance, so I need to make one. So stay tuned, and probably next month I'll include it on the next bundle. Chris O'Connor, hey Juca, do you know if there's a way to downtune like a pitch shifter via the Katana Tone Studio? I don't want to buy an Whammy pedal, and I was wondering if you could do this with the Tone Studio as well. Yeah, there is, but nothing beats the Whammy pedal. Period. I mean, even inside the Boss GT1000, which is a little bit more advanced. The thing is, you can have expression pedal and do this down tune and stuff like that, but it's not gonna change, not gonna sound. There's a lot of artifacts, digital artifacts, especially if you're doing more than 3 notes at the same time. in a power chord with the fifth, right? With an octave and the fifth, I mean, doesn't sound very good. So unless you're just doing, you know, like one string, it will be okay. But if the minute you start doing power chord and stuff like that, it's all over the place, the tone, the balance between the strings, and it's not good. So unfortunately or fortunately, you do have some different whammy pedals. You don't have to buy necessarily the one with expression. There's a small one that can change pitch, and they work great. I have one here, the bigger one with the expression pedal, and they do wonders. So if you can, get it, because you'll get lots of artifacts from the Katana, and it's not the ideal thing. So I hope you'll answer your question. Let's go for the next one. Why does my Strat not sound like a Strat? I can't seem to get that single coil sound. I've tried all the amp models. Has to be an EQ thing or overdrive gain thing, I don't know. From Johnny Watson. Hey Johnny, thanks for your question. That's kind of weird. I think you're referring to the Boss Katana. That's kind of weird because the first thing, if I stay too long without picking the Boss Katana, which doesn't happen, only if I go on vacation. The thing is, the Boss Katana with single coils, they seem to be like match made in heaven. That's the idea that I have. I'm not saying it doesn't sound good with humbuckers, of course, but there's something to the Katana, especially the clean and the crunch channel, where it sounds just perfect. So it's really weird that you're saying that you don't get a Strat Tone. I have a bunch of Strat packs on my website. You probably know that. If you don't know, I'll put some image there. Even on my free Google Drive, I think I have some for the Strat. But it's kind of weird because I assume your guitar is set up correctly with even if it wasn't, it's a Strat no matter where it's made, unless it's a very bad one. I don't believe that's the case. It has to sound like a Strat, you know. The second and fourth position, they are unique. You guys already know that. So if you want to email me with some, just pick your phone, record yourself playing, and I can hear the tone. Just go to my site to contact and email me, and I can listen to that and advise you to give you further help. But that's kind of weird. I hope you don't have a faulty amp. Let's go for the next question. From Wilhelm, I think it's not right, but what advice would you give someone who isn't happy with the tone they're getting from an amp? Any piece of gear? This is not Katana based, but in general, with any piece of gear. This is kind of a hard question because I think all of us, we're never happy with our tone. There's two different things. It's to be completely unhappy with every tone and never happy with our tone. Being never happy with our tone is a great thing because it makes you go and try different stuff and always be discovering these different ways, you know. If it's via an amp, actual amp, it doesn't matter if it's a Katana, a tube amp, plug-in, I don't know, anything. And this is something that to me happens a lot of times. Sometimes I make patches for myself and my recordings, and after the fact that I thought it was great, and I'm not happy with the tone. So my goal is to go and improve it, and I study stuff and try different amps, different pedals, everything that you probably mentioned on your comment. But there's not, there's not a specific piece of gear that will make you sound like you want. I assume that, I believe that. Remember that one of the most important things of guitar tone is actually your speaker, okay? Not necessarily, not just the pickups, it's a combination of things, but ultimately the sound comes from your speaker. Glenn from Spectre Digital Studios have proven that, and it was something that I was kind of aware for a long time ago, because it's what translates to tone, right? The air comes from there. So the speaker is one of the most important things. So you might want to try, might want to try different speakers, I don't know, maybe, because that will change your tone drastically. Instead of having 10 different amps, you know, the speakers do change your tone a lot. So you can have, just like, imagine you can have like a tube amp head, and then 2 different speakers, and that will change more than if you had 2 different tube amps, okay? It's very, very important. So I would start from there. But you know, man, I think we're never happy with our tone, but not necessarily desperate in terms of I really sound bad or something like that. And once again, when people comment and talk to me about this kind of stuff, I always encourage them to go to my site, to contact me. And once again, like I said before, pick up your phone and put it recording. Let me take a listen to what you're doing, what you're playing, so I can give you my feedback and tell you what you can improve with your signal chain. You gotta describe everything you use and then record something. You don't have to record yourself playing, just recording the tone from the amp or something like that. With a phone, it's more than enough for me to hear it. So think about that, and let's go for the next question. Last but not least, from David Olson. I believe I've already addressed this. Hi Juca, will you be creating patches for the Box GX-100? Yes, the Box GX-100 will be here in my place in the beginning of April. Boss is sending me one, but they were kind of out of stock, but they are sending me one now in April. So immediately when I get that, I'll start creating patches for that, because I know once again the files are not compatible. And yeah, very soon I'll be creating patches and demo how everything works and stuff like that. He has a very cool thing that for me it's really cool having two reverb blocks instead of one. Of course you can always, with just one reverb block, control it and put it in one patch with more reverb and the other patch with less reverb. It's really easy, but it's better if you have two reverb blocks. It's just simpler. So that was all for today. I want to mention, you guys, somebody asked me about my premium pack, the Boss GT1000. I want to address this very easy. The Boss GT1000 premium pack has all the amps always updated in feature updates, meaning if you buy the pack, every amp that are released will be updated into the pack automatically. You receive the notification if you subscribe to my mailing list. Is on the video description below, or just going into my site, you'll see the pop-up to subscribe. That's a better way to stay tuned for new amps. Regarding the artist tones, that's why I have a separate pack for all artist tones. That's always going to be also updated without any further charge. But on the premium pack, you get all the amps and the artist tones up until the bundle number 32 included. If you want to get the other bundles at a fixed price, this is where Patreon is very important, because you will have just to pay. You'll be charged €5 a month, and you'll have all bundles included. And this is great because different bundles that come out have different number of patches, different prices. This way, you will only pay the €5 for every new bundle that comes out. Plus, I do throw in there a lot of stuff that I usually don't comment online, like guitar lessons. Sometimes I release a new pack and I just offer it to my patrons. So it's really cool. Join me on Patreon because you're gonna benefit a lot. There's a lot of things that I do for free and put there, and I think it's been great so far. And I would like to thank, by the way, I'd like to thank to all my patrons that have supported me so far. You guys rule. And I also would like to thank to all my audience. I really love you guys. The feedback has been great. My channel is growing slowly, but it's growing because I was during a long time out of the scene, like 10 years or so, when I started my channel. And you now guys are reacting and giving me strength to continue this journey of creating patches, tones for every kind of artist, every kind of amp, and making this FAQ series to answer all the questions that you guys put me to the best of my abilities. So wherever you are, stay safe, stay tuned. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, that will help a lot, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.